Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, you're welcome and I hope you are doing well. So for today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I prep my human hair bundles for ventilating. So I'm going to be showing you guys how I cut it, how I arrange it for to get them ready for ventilating. So I'm going to be working with 3 different lengths of hair for today's video, and I'm going to be showing you 2 methods on how to prep the hair. So with that said, let's jump right into the video. So the first one I'm going to be working with is this brand hair right here, which is the longest one out of the 3 bundles. So I went ahead and opened up the hair bundle, as you can see right here. So next I'm going to go ahead and cut a little bit out of it. So this piece I cut out, I'm going to fold it in over like this into 2, and I'm going to cut it in half. So I'm going to work with one of these first. Okay, so to cut this hair, I'm going ahead to fold it, making sure everything is lined up at the top, as you can see right here, before going ahead to cut it out of the weft. Okay, so once I cut the hair out of the weft, the first thing I do is to comb out the super tiny short ones at the very root, or the end. So just these ones are unusable, so I throw these very ones out away. So the next thing I do, I fold the hair over as if I'm going to ventilate the hair, so that way I can see the part I need to comb out for the first layer of short hair. So this part I fold over right here. There's a lot of short hairs right at that very point. So in order to have a smooth ventilating day, I need to comb this very short ones out. So I'm going to take the ratchet comb and comb those out. So to comb out the short strands, I hold the hair like half an inch away from where the short strands end, and taking the ratchet comb, I'm going ahead to pull those short strands out, making sure to hold the hair firmly. All I'm doing, I'm pulling out the very short strands out of the hair. So I continue doing that until there is nothing left to pull out, as you can see right here. So now I know I've completely removed the short strands out of this hair. So right here, I'm just going ahead to double check by kind of spreading the hair out and folding it over like this to see if there are short strands in there. So I've removed the first layer of short strands of hair. So at this point, I can use this hair and I can use this hair for my project. I can ventilate the hair right now, but for the project I have in hand, I only need the long strands of hair. So I'm going to be going back in to remove the second layer of short hairs. Okay, so right here, I'm going to go ahead and separate the long strands from the short strands. So for this part, I'm going to be pulling out the short strands of hair, and I'm going to be placing them, making sure I place them the right way. So make sure you're placing them the right way. So the roots need to stay with the roots, okay? Don't place it like, zigzag method. So arrange them properly. So I'm just going ahead to pull out the short strands. So I just place my fingers a few inches away from where the short strands end, and I'm going ahead to pull them out. So these ones I'm pulling out right now, they're about 10-inch long. So these I can use for a different projects, for a bob wig, make a super short lace closure. I can use the 10-inch hair for that. But for the project I have in hand, I only need the long strands of hair for the project. That's why I'm doing this extra step. Okay, so I'm going back to the very short strands I pull out of the hair, and I'm going to be arranging this. I'm not wasting any of this hair, right? So I'm going to be arranging them and putting them away. So these ones right here, I can actually use them to create baby hairs around the lace closure or a lace frontal. I'm keeping all of these short hairs because once I have more than enough, I can make a weft out of it using my sewing machine. I know it will be like too much work, but hey, why not give it a shot? But if you don't want to go through the extra work, of course you can throw them away. That's up to you, but for me, I'm keeping them. I'm not letting anything go to waste. So I'm just gonna arrange this entire rubber band around it to keep everything intact. So the next hair bundle I'm going to be working on is the 10-inch hair bundle right here. So right here, I'm just going ahead to place the hair side by side. This is the second one, the second short, the check. So this is the second layer of short strands I pulled out of the brand hair. So I'm just putting it side by side to this to the 10-inch hair bundle. So I'm going to be cutting a teeny bit of the out of the 10-inch hair bundle because I'm only going to be using it for demonstration. So for this part, I also doing the same thing. I cut the section of hair I'm going to be working with, roll it and cut it out of the weft. So for the 10-inch hair bundle, I only pull out the first layer of short hair because you don't really need to pull much out. So I only pulled out the first layer of short hair. Doing the same thing, I'm using the rat tape comb to pull out the ones that I don't want out of the hair. So I continue doing that and I'm done pulling all the short hairs out. So as you can see right here, I'm done with it. So I'm going to take my rubber band and tie it around the root of the hair to keep it intact. So I'm just folding it over like this just to show you guys the length of it after you fold it over. So this is the final result of the first method using the ratty comb and pulling the hair from the top. Okay, so this is the first method, the final result of the first method right here, which is the brand hair. So I'm going to be showing you guys the second method on the next clip. Okay, so moving on to the second method. So doing the same thing, I'm starting by cutting a little bit out of the hair bundle. So I'm only cutting a tiny bit just to show you guys. So cut it out of the hair bundle and next I'm going to fold it over just like this so that way I can cut it out of the weft. So now that that is done, so first thing first, I'm taking the rat comb and I'm going to be combing out the super short, unusable strands out of the hair and throw those away. So for the next step, I'm going to start by combing the hair to make sure it's tangle free before moving on to the next step. Okay. So now that that is done, so this time I'm going to be pulling out the long strands from the tip of the hair and not the root, not the top of the hair. So to do that, I'm taking the rat comb and I'm placing it at the root or the top of the hair. So next I'm taking my finger and I'm going to be wrapping the long strands of hair around my finger, right? Just like that, holding firmly at the tip and also holding the hair at the top on the comb, and I'm pulling out these long strands from the hair just like that. Okay, so I'm just going to put that aside. So these are the longest strands out of the hair. So I'm going to repeat the same process on the remaining hair. Okay, so let's say for example you want to cut the longest one out of the hair in half, so that way you have more hair to work with. So what you can do, you want to take the longest strands out of the hair, right? So you want to go ahead and fold it in half, just like this in this video. So you want to make sure you fold it equally. So next you want to take your scissors and cut it. Okay, so once you cut the hair in half, the next thing you need to do is to wrap the rubber band around the one with the thin end. Okay, just wrap the rubber band around it and set it aside. So we're going to be working with the one with the blunt end. So to fix that, you want to pull on the top part of the hair, which is the root side. So you want to gently pull some strands. Okay, don't overdo it. You just want to gently pull it a little at a time, so that way you get rid of the blunt end. So once you are satisfied, go ahead and comment, say how it's looking. Okay, if you're not satisfied with the way it's looking, you want to go ahead and continue pulling on the top part of the hair, so you're kind of feathering it. Okay, again, don't overdo it. So you just want it a bit thin at the tip. So once you are satisfied with it, you need to even add the top of the hair. So right here, I took my scissors and just trim the top of the hair, which is the root. Okay, so now that that is done, I'm going ahead to wrap the rubber band around it to secure it in place. Okay, so here is the one I just cut in half. Here we go. Now you have more hair to work with. Okay, so this is the final result of the second method. Okay, so we've come to the end of today's video. So this is the process. This is how I prep my human hair bundles for wig making or closure making. So I hope you find this video helpful. If you do, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. And also, if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below. Okay, and also check the description box. Check the description box, because I always put the list of the things I use in my video, like the tools and materials. I put the links in the description box down below, so be sure to check the description box for more details on the things I use in making the wigs. Okay, all right, with that said, thank you all so much for popping by. Thank you all so much for subscribing, and I'll see you all in my next one.